Conan Exiles recently had a big Steam sale and a free-to-play week. In that time I've seen a lot of new players asking questions about the game both in my own comments and over on the Conan Reddit. If you're a new player looking to get into mods, the workshop is intimidating. Therefore today we are looking at 5 mods that I recommend for beginners. I do already have a guide on how to install mods and you can watch that through the card in the top right. These mods are in no particular order but they're aimed to be as easy to use as possible, and I've tried to cover multiple facets of the game. The links to all the mods will be in the description of the video, so without further ado, let's get started. The first mod is Less Building Placement Restrictions, also known as LBPR. It's accrued 550,000 downloads since its release in 2018, and it's one of the best mods for getting past the pesky building rules that Conan often has. The basic functionality of LBPR is already available in the base game with the toggle building restrictions, so why bother with this mod? Well, LBPR comes with a bunch of other functionality not available in the base game. The main feature is of course, well, reducing building restrictions. This includes not only allowing you to build in areas you usually can't, but also reducing the game's inherent tolerance for clipping, and just generally allowing you to place things more freely. The ability to build anywhere can be toggled between admins and regular players if you own a server, and it also affects thrall placement, which allows you to place them much closer to other objects. Many blockers can be enabled or disabled as desired, and all pieces have large green directional arrows which are often more legible than the base game arrows. There's also a lot of quality of life overlap options for making windows, overlaying fences on walls, walls on foundations, etc. Things that would usually require a good bit of trickery to achieve in the base game. It does also change building previews, removing the stability colour, which I do think is a slight downside, but it does allow you to get a better view of pieces and their orientations. Generally speaking, LBPR relaxes a lot of placement rules for building and decorating, which is great if you hate the smaller restrictions that Conan's building system often has, like for example struggling to stock shelves. LBPR also has more in-depth options, but in all honesty they're not really a necessary part of the mod. You may find need for them depending on your own preferences, but I've not come across that scenario myself. LBPR is a classic, often one of the first mods mentioned for beginner players, and one I've covered a few times before. If you're just getting into building, or you seek to build freely across the land, then LBPR is a great, lightweight mod to serve that end. Barbarian Barber has been a favourite for role players since its release in 2020, accruing over 300,000 downloads. This is an incredibly simple mod, as it adds 340 hairstyles, 170 for men and 170 for women. Most of us can admit, one aspect of character creation that is sorely lacking in Conan is the hairstyles. The base game ones are fine, but hair is a big part of your character, and there's a good chance you probably desire more than is on offer by default. To serve that need, that is where Barbarian Barber comes in. All the hairs in this mod are very well made and full of character. I will say, some don't necessarily play well with helmets or hats, however by using illusions you can get around this quite easily and make sure your hair is a present part of your character. There's really not much else to say about this mod, it's just really well made and adds a ton of variety. You may not wish to create a new character and lose your progress just to get some new locks, but Barbarian Barber also has you covered there. It works seamlessly with the Orb of Nurgle, allowing you to change your hair whenever you feel like it, as long as you've reached level 45 to unlock the Nurgle feat and build the bench. Overall, Barbarian Barber is a very simple and effective mod that takes great strides towards improving your character and the immersive experience. Back on that topic of immersion, Immersive Armor is our third mod. Another community favourite with almost 350,000 downloads, Immersive Armors adds over 500 new cosmetic items, from armours and weapons to accessories and civilian clothing. It also comes with an accessory wardrobe system, allowing you to add smaller items to your outfit without sacrificing your core armour. The stuff this mod adds is just straight up impressive. There are far too many armour sets to really detail here, and with all the accessories you get to create a unique look for your character. The vast majority of items are dyeable, and with the extensive accessory system you can customise almost every facet of your appearance, from your earrings down to your toenails. Yes, quite literally, toenails. Honestly, there's a little bit of everything here. Fantasy designs, Eastern inspired, items more true to the game's style, and items that attempt to be a bit more realistic. There are a good mix of unique armours, alongside many that remix base game designs into something a little different. Personally, I love the armour design in Conan, but sometimes you just need that bit of extra variety, as what's on offer doesn't really always suit what you need. If you find yourself a bit tired of the base game armour sets, Immersive Armors is a great mod that really fulfills that promise of variety. One of my favourite decoration mods, Shani's stuff is packed full of useful decorations. This is very much a mod for roleplay and PvE players, but is a favourite for many with just over 100,000 downloads since 2019. Shani's stuff adds over 1,000 placeables, covering a huge variety of styles and designs. The overall aim of the mod is to make it easier to create immersive and roleplay friendly environments. There are many great decorations here, but there are still some standouts. Many pieces can be dyed different tones and colours, and to boot there are even custom paintings. By custom, I mean that you can display your own images in these items by simply just pasting an Imager URL. For example, these are all wallpapers from my Patreon, images I've made and am now able to put in game. There's lots of different size frames, but be warned, the stock images are a touch not safe for work. You can also adjust the size of most decorations and even configure the wind strength on flags and the intensity of light sources, which is very useful. There's also tiny workbenches that can fit on a table. Yes, all of these items are different workbenches. The mod further adds an improved weather system, time synchronization and some other features. However, the decoration is the main meat of this mod and works incredibly well. I will say the one downside of this mod is that the feats must be learned from an admin spawned recipe book. If you're on single player and you can hop into admin mode, that's fine, but if you're joining a server running this mod, the admin will likely have a different system in place to offer these feats. Overall, Shani's stuff is a standout mod for decorators and roleplayers. Incredibly well made with tons of flexibility, this is a great first step into decoration mods and one of the best for that niche. And finally, Northern Timber. This was a very difficult pick. There are lots of great building mods, but this sticks out as likely being the most beginner friendly. With over 210,000 downloads since 2019, Northern Timber is one of the most impressive building mods out there. This mod includes 4 new sets: Northern Timber, Stockade, Bossonian and Murayama, covering the Tier 1, Tier 2 and Tier 3 building materials. This mod not only includes regular building pieces, but those sets are also populated with half walls, shallow sloping pieces and other items that aren't really available in the normal game. Additionally, there are a couple of decorative items, namely roof mounted decorations, and there's also some Murayama Japanese style hanging flags. However, the main meat of this mod lies in the building sets. Northern Timber is one of the best building mods on the Steam Workshop. It's extremely successful at capturing a lot of different aesthetics, from ramshackle cabin to Viking-inspired longhouse to a lavish manor and even Japanese castles. It was really difficult to pick a good building mod to go into this slot. You are definitely spoiled for choice in the workshop, but Northern Timber stands out as not only easy to use, but also incredibly rewarding. And there we have it, 5 great mods for beginners. Thanks for watching, and of course a massive thanks to our wonderful esteemed coffee cultists for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. If you'd like a second part to this, let me know, as there are still plenty of mods that could have easily made the cut for this video. If you have any suggestions for those future videos, do leave them below. Again, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.